Part 2. Verdant Wind. Ethereal Moon. Reunion at Dawn. It is Imperial Year 1185. Nearly 5 years have passed since the fall of the monastery at Garreg-Mach, and war continues to plague the lands of Fodlan. Ferdiad has been captured. The Holy Kingdom of Fargus is in shambles. The Leicester Alliance is on the verge of collapse, fractured by two opposing factions: those who support the Adrestian Empire and its ruler, and those who seek her demise. Meanwhile, under Emperor Edelgard's rule of law, the Adrestian Empire continues to expand its reach. The path to a new Fodlan, unified by Imperial strength, may yet be in sight.
You. How long do you intend to sleep? Your body is awake. Your eyes must open now, and you must find the strength to stand upon those legs of yours. Like so much rain, a pool of blood has fallen to the ground. As spears and arrows pierce the earth, it weeps. And even now, it weeps. In order to survive, they kill. And so the people of this world are lost in an abyss of suffering. They weep as well. The only one who truly knows the nature of such things is I. Or rather, you.
I'm still sleepy. They made me replay the same half of the game again.
You are a complete and utter fool! Have you not changed one bit?
The first half of the game hasn't!
Right now, I'll coddle you no more. You are just like a child, always needing me to hold your hand.
You overslept, Teach. Pretty rude to keep a fella waiting like that, wouldn't you say? What's with that surprised look, my friend? You didn't really think I'd given up on you coming back, did you? Can you feel it? A new dawn is finally here. Not just for us, though. No. For all of Fodlan. It's been 5 long years. Where have you been, Teach? You don't really expect me to believe that you've been napping this whole time, do you?
I was sleeping.
It's a good one. Except that's not your lying face. I guess I've got no choice but to believe you. You're not exactly normal to begin with, so it's not a huge stretch to imagine you sleeping for that long. And this is where you say, just kidding, right? If this is a rib, now's the time to fess up.
It's the truth.
You must be insane, and yet... fine. I believe you, okay? But that means you don't...
I don't remember the other two believing at all.
Your last battle, right? I guess it's on me to catch you up. As you can see, Garreg-Mach was crushed by the Empire and was never restored. The monastery is in ruins, and the town is in pretty bad shape, too. Can you guess why?
Ray has been sleeping too?
It would seem that's one possible explanation, since you insist that's what you've been up to. All we know for sure is that Rhea suddenly vanished during that battle 5 years ago. The Knights of Seiros have apparently been searching all over Fodlan for her. But the fact that this place is in ruins tells me they still haven't found her.
Then we must find her.
True. I've got a mountain of questions I'd like to ask her after all. But I'm not so sure whether it would be good for her to return as the... Rather, with her gone...
Oops.
Never mind. This could be a dangerous conversation. Before we discuss the state of affairs in each territory, are you hungry? You must be. It's not much, but I did bring some food with me. Let's eat up and go from there. Whew, I am stuffed. Even the most humble of meals taste great with the right company. By the way, Teach, do you remember the night before the ball? I know it was 5 years ago, but we promised that the Golden Deer House would reunite during the Millennium Festival. Today's the day we promised to meet up, but no one's here.
It's... It must not like us.
You know everyone looked up to you, right? Or is this your way of telling me I was a lousy house leader? Let's wait just a little longer. You never know, maybe someone will show up after all. Hey, Teach, just waiting around sounds boring, so why don't we get in some exercise? You know, help with digestion and stuff. You must be in bad shape if you've been sleeping for 5 years. It'll do you good to get your body moving again.
You want to play a game?
Something like that. Look, if you come with me, you'll understand. Oh, and don't forget your weapons, okay? I want to make sure neither your leadership nor your skill with a blade have dulled.
In the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, Imperial loyalist Cornelia has subdued all regions of the former royal house of Blathed to prevent further revolt. Prince Dimitri has been sentenced. Now, the backbone of the former kingdom, Houses Gautier and Fraldarius, struggle to continue the resistance. Cornelia, operating out of the royal palace, has accepted the support of the Empire to build an army and plots to wipe out all remaining kingdom forces. In the Leicester Alliance, House Regan leads an anti-imperial faction, while House Gloucester directs the Empire's supporters. Despite the undeniable threat of fracture, the Alliance's adept new leader, Claude, deftly maintains the outward appearance of a unified front. In Enbar, the imperial capital of the Adrestian Empire, Emperor Edelgard fights to strengthen her regime. She has extended her reach to the kingdom by inciting a coup and continues to draw its former lords under her influence in pursuit of controlling all of Western Fodlan. In the meantime, the Knights of Seros have been dispatched to find Archbishop Rhea, who remains missing despite their searching. Left unattended, the monastery at Garreg Mach has fallen to ruin and become a haven for thieves.
So unlike in the Crimson Flower timeline, Dimitri gets completely owned by infighting in his kingdom. Because I did think that was strange, where it's like he ends up being a normal king. Doesn't lose his eye, unfortunately. He gets more bad endings than good endings. Hold on. Check out this skill I got. I learned this in school. Jump. See, that was a half jump. You jump right before the load ends.
The thieves are here. Apparently they're trying to run off with
Ooh, he's
treasures
a
from the
flyer.
monastery.
What the? Intruders! Protect the goods!
Alright, it's good that we did
This
this.
is gonna get expensive.
Like, it's good that we did the Anna thing, so we effectively get 2 moments in this playthrough with Pilardo. I immediately recognized him because it's totally the same voice actor for what's his name from Tales of Vesperia. I was like, oh yeah, it was the Raven dude.
What's my strategy?
I think we could tank all these dudes. Who gives a shit? I'm the strongest guy here.
Here is something to believe in! Yeah! Another victory.
We do the best we can as we wait for backup to arrive.
At the ready.
A fail knot has good range. Didn't stand a chance.
Self-kill. Predictable.
Nice try. Fuck you.
Watch and learn.
Nope. Owned. I'm so powerful. No. Owned. Ooh, I'll keep that for later. They're like, enemy turn. This is the part where you get the most kills and units because they all just try to face fuck you and get owned. That was a crit. Good God.
Watch and learn.
Oh my God. Do this. All of them will die by the end of that turn. We'll get the arrow guy, because he'll be the one trying to do the thing from a range. God, my crit rate's so damn good.
So close.
Fine.
Too easy.
I'm having fun. Don't need that antitoxin. No damage at all, just bounced off my armor. Missed. Nope. Even if you attack me at a distance, it's not gonna matter. Oh my. We don't even need the other fucking students, guys.
Predictable. Watch and learn.
Hello.
The barbarity is even worse than the rumors. On my honor as a noble, I will expel these ruffians.
Today was supposed to be a happy day, but the monastery is in such disrepair.
Over there. Is that the professor? And the others?
Professor, you're alive! Guess we better handle this before I celebrate, though, huh?
You finally made it. I suppose virtue still exists in this crazy world after all.
Backup has arrived. Let's see. I hit the wrong dude and it's displaying map info. Oops. I have no idea which one that is that's making the red shit. Oh, it's probably you. There we go. Oh yeah, you gotta be at a distance to fire. Steel bow, that guy.
My moment has arrived.
I thought I selected steel bow. For some reason it did not. Maybe it switched because I was a farther distance or something. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care enough to ask.
No,
Say goodnight.
I'm not the one you want. I guess I've got no choice. It isn't looking good for us. Should we retreat?
So he revealed his true identity. Catch him and recover the treasure.
Well, it's not a problem. I'll pass. I'll get him next turn.
So close.
Oh no, this door's sealed. I'm gonna have to leave it to Claude. Oh god.
Is that the professor and everyone else? They're fighting. I gotta go help.
Wow, it's you. Here, I thought you were dead all this time. Could that be the professor's?
She took a nap. I'm so proud.
Hey, you're late. Hurry up and help. I'm hurt, but I'm with you.
Now, I believe you had plans to leave. They've been canceled.
Ah, you should yield me a tidy profit. Ah!
The weak.
I thought it would be easy money. Maybe it wasn't meant to be.
We took care of that. Are you sufficiently warmed up, Teach?
Yes, I killed 10 units, I think. Not even on my turn.
I'm exhausted. What gives, Professor? I was so excited to see everyone again, and then this happens. I'm still tired from the long journey. How did it come to this?
Let's all take a moment to catch our breath.
If you've got the spare time to play with those guys, the least you could do is prepare some tea.
Blame Claude.
Come on, those guys were thieves. We couldn't just let them get away. It seems they've been taking advantage of the church's absence and doing whatever they please here.
In any case, I'm glad that all of you are well.
That's the spirit, Marianne.
That was fun. In fact, I wouldn't mind romping around some more.
You guys did nothing.
You were alive this whole time, Professor. I am not surprised. In fact, that is why I came here.
And it doesn't look like time has rusted your skills. That's a relief.
I'm just glad everyone's alive and well. On that note, let's move this reunion party somewhere else. Now that we've dealt with those violent bandits, we could potentially use this place as our base of operations again.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I'm talking about the Leicester Alliance taking over Garreg-Mach Monastery. After all, it's right in the middle of Fodlan. It's a critical strategic location.
Are you suggesting that we fight back against the Empire?
Aren't you getting a bit ahead of yourself? The Alliance is in complete discord at present.
And, as leader of the Imperial faction of the Alliance, isn't Count Gloucester, your father, the main cause of that discord?
Yes, that is true. It was inevitable. Our house's territory is close to Imperial land, after all. Had we not consented to vassalage under the Empire, they would have invaded immediately.
Naturally. And to be clear, I have no problem with your house maintaining its Imperial ties until we're sufficiently prepared to revolt. The Empire is the cause of the infighting. If we rid ourselves of them, the situation should resolve itself. That's why I'm thinking we should make this our base, raise up an army, and stir up some trouble for the Empire.
Now you're talking. Sounds like fun.
So then, Mr. Leaderman, does this mean you intend to rope us into your little scheme?
Leaderman?
My grandfather passed away. That means yours truly is officially the leader of the Alliance.
If we had a more reliable leader, perhaps the Alliance would not have been divided.
Think what you will. All I need to know is if you're in or you're out.
I'm happy to lend a hand. I won't let those Imperial dogs set foot in Alliance territory. I couldn't bear it if my village got caught up in the chaos of war.
I'll fight too. I've got to protect my little sis.
I will join as well. After all, House Ordelia was once dragged into an Imperial revolt. It ruined us.
Of course. I understand your motivation.
I'll fight too. It's time to take responsibility for my own future.
I don't want to run anymore. I hope I'll be of use to everyone.
We can do anything if we work together, Marianne.
What about you, Lawrence? Are you going to go back home to your scary father or what?
We cannot rely on Claude's scheming to lead us to victory. Therefore, I will remain. It is my duty to ensure Claude does not worsen the situation in the Alliance.
All of us are fighting for a different reason, but we share a common enemy. If we don't act, the Empire will crush us eventually. I say we stop them before they have the chance. So, Teach, will you help as well?
I'll give some thought.
Please do. I'm counting on you. Even if your ultimate goal is to find Rhea, it would be better to stick with us as you search. With you on our side, the Church will join us as well. That makes fighting the Empire a moral cause, which means it'll be easier to rally support. Above all, your knowledge and strength are indispensable if we hope to stand a chance against the Imperial Army. Without you, my schemes are nothing. Just words. Please, take all of that into consideration as you decide.
You're really laying it all on the table, aren't you, Claude? Well, all that aside, this place is a mess. We can't very well make our base in a ruin. And repairing it sounds like a lot of work. I wonder if anyone would be willing to help us out with that.
Can it be? You were alive all this time?
Hello!
Professor, it is so good to see you again. My brother and I were worried about you.
Everyone was real worried about you, Professor.
Cyril? Is that you? You've grown up, kid. Have you been looking for Rhea with the Knights?
Of course, without Lady Rhea, I don't belong anywhere.
Cyril, that's not... Never mind. We'll figure it all out.
How's the search for Rhea progressing?
It has been 5 years since Lady Rhea disappeared. We have devoted all of our energies to finding her. However, without being able to set foot in Empire territory, we are at a standstill. We had hoped that perhaps the Archbishop would return here on this day. That of the long-awaited Millennium Festival.
Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case, though I don't suppose you had very high hopes in that regard. Even if she were able to return here, with the monastery in ruins, I don't think she would have felt safe enough to do so. Right, Hilda?
Yeah, this is an important location for the church. To think you've left it in such a state.
It's a danger to the locals, too.
I agree. Maybe we left it alone for too long. We must do something about this.
I can clean this place up like new. It's not fit for Lady Rhea like this.
Then let's do it. If we all work together, we can restore the monastery to its original beauty.
We will require the aid of skilled craftsmen, too. I shall seek out any such individuals who are willing to return to Garrick Mach.
Fantastic! I'll figure out how to split up the work, and then we can get started.
She's like, oh man, I have everyone working except for me. I don't know how it happened, but we did. Crazy, huh? Guess we're doing more than one chapter in this video. Talk to me, Daddy.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Guardian Moon. The Alliance Leader's Ambitions. Claiming the monastery at Garrick Mach as its home base, the Alliance army joins forces with the Knights of Seros. Together, they begin to take up arms against the Adrestian Empire.
Check their classes and weapons. Everyone's big now.
Good work, Hilda. You didn't do much manual labor, but you managed to rope the knights into helping us restore the monastery.
Thanks, Claude. But all I did was piggyback on your scheme. I saw your eyes telling me to make some magic happen.
We appreciate your assistance with the restoration of the monastery.
Oh, please, it was nothing. We're just doing our part as former students.
I'm told you even routed the bandits. I'm sorry. That should have been our job.
Hey, don't think twice about it. We're all allies in the resistance against the Empire, right?
The Church is at war with the Empire, but the Alliance is a different matter. Wouldn't it be better to avoid getting involved?
The way I see it, the Emperor wants to take over all of Fodlan and destroy the existing order of the world. I can't see her allowing the Alliance to continue to exist. We're in this just as deeply as you are. Actually, we were hoping to use this place as a base. The Empire begs to be meddled with, and we're first in line.
Why would you make your base here?
Garreg Mach is situated in the center of Fodlan, both geographically and spiritually. We want to secure this location while the Empire is still overlooking it. But if we simply decide that it's ours to occupy, that does nothing to inspire the hearts and minds of the people of Fodlan. Luckily, good old Teach has finally returned to us. If the Professor Rhea entrusted with the Sword of the Creator fights at our side, well now, that's a just cause anyone could get behind. What's more, here we are, working alongside the legendary Knights of Seros. It smacks of divine providence, doesn't it? Can you feel it?
I have heard what you have to say, Claude. And you, Professor? Where do you stand?
Let's see. I will find Rhea.
We are at a relative standstill. But with the help of the Alliance, the Archbishop said if anything should happen to her, that we should entrust the affairs of the Church to you. If you intend to fight alongside the Alliance, then I will follow you as well. Is that acceptable, Claude?
Of course. I can't think of anything more reassuring than having both Teach and the Knights on our side. Together, we'll stop the Emperor and her reckless ambitions.
It's okay. I'll get those done in my own time. All right, we're at the part of Fire Emblem Three Houses that I think is good in basically every area, which is whenever there's something I haven't seen before in it. That's genuine. The quality jump when I'm experiencing the story for the first time is great. Doing the same stuff again, it doesn't do much for me. And as you can see, we have a lot here. That one, though, seems like a plot point has to happen for me to be allowed to get the last support with Hilda. But Teacher's final supports with these guys, they'll be popping up soon. That's good. Sedith is also in the party as well, which I assumed, but let's have a look here. Okay, good. Anna's back in. Cyril, he's 20. That's pretty good. What are we looking at on you? Level 24. He's not too bad. Could be better though. Let's begin exploring. We can go a little bit more in this episode, of course, because I'd rather make these a little bit on the longer side because I'm ahead, so I can actually afford to do that. Let's change our outfit, I think. We got Academy without cloak. Oh. That's, something. Loungewear custom. Custom loungewear. Some shit's pretty great. Evening wear. Fuck it, we'll do the evening wear. Accessory, we got the glasses. Yeah, we'll continue being the samurai. But for now, we shall be in our ultra military mode. No. Actually, who else are we missing in terms of getting A ranks? A Claude, which I can only assume is later in the story. Lysithea. Hilda is ready to go, but we'll, which we do later. And that's it. Okay. So in the next support thing, we'll effectively have next to no one else to do supports with them. Hopefully we don't have another supports the movie. at any point coming up here, but if we do, I imagine that will be the final supports the movie. And then it'll just be like supports the television episode. Here I am just focusing on how toned Byleth's ass is.
Professor.
Oh, okay. Like, I have access to them. But then they're like, hey, if you reach the area, we'll do a thing.
Do you have time for a request?
Fishing for the big one. Yeah, we have a lot of quests to do, which will, of course, give us stuff. And stuff's important. I think what we'll do is we'll do our first little edit. I think that's a good idea. Because I have a lot of quests to ping, which we did in the first playthrough. And just some extra stuff to like get people ready for instruction in the war room, all that good stuff. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll jump into whatever I'm gonna do next.
Everyone, listen up. I have a proposal. We are now building our forces in order to rise up against the Imperial Army.
Ooh.
It wouldn't be smart for us to fight under the banner of the Alliance. That would only incite the lords who support the Empire. We've also combined forces with the Knights of Seros. Therefore, I suggest that we operate under a new symbol. That's why I've prepared this. You may recognize it as the Crest of Flames, which resides in Teach, the phantom crest that has reappeared after more than 1,000 years. We're attempting our own miracle, so it seems like a suitable symbol for us. So, until we welcome the dawn of a new age in Fodlan, let's fight to the very end as one under the symbol of the Crest of Flames.
Impressive, Claude. Forget restoring the monastery. You've somehow roped everyone into fighting back against the Empire.
If you recall, I never technically asked anyone to join us. If anything, we have Teach's achievements to thank. Now that you mention it, I guess I should express my gratitude. Hey, friend. So this is where you've been. Without you, the Knights never would have joined our cause. I can never pay you back for that.
Let's do our best.
Just leave it to me, Teach. When this fight is over, I plan to see all of my dreams come to fruition. And yours as well.
What are your dreams, Claude?
Well, for example, to bust open Fodlan's throat. There's a massive fortress there, which is responsible for protecting the eastern border of the Alliance. I like to think of it as a lid on a bottle. The people of Fodlan only know a small part of the world. Their prejudices are born because they don't know what lies beyond their borders. And the opposite is true too. Those outside of Fodlan don't know about this place. Ignorance breeds discrimination. Whether you look inside the bottle or outside of it, if you really look, all you'll find are people who you can get along with if you only try. That's why I want to bust open that lid, which is keeping us locked inside, or destroy the bottle entirely.
Are you gonna tell our allies about this?
I'll find the right time to bring it up. Even if I talked about it now, it doesn't seem realistic, does it? First, we need to defeat the Empire and restore peace to... Huh?
Professor, Claude, we're under attack.
I guess we'll have to cut our conversation short. What's going on, Leonie?
It's a small group, but some Imperial troops are headed this way. It looks like they were stationed nearby.
I've got to hand it to Edelgard. Nothing gets past that woman.
Let's take them down.
All right, I'll show you how much I've improved, Professor.
This will be our first battle alongside the Knights of Seros. Let's kick off our new partnership with a magnificent victory.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thanks. I'm glad I asked you.
I'm always good at getting things done. So we have a mission, of course. We have to tackle this month's military operation. Gotta stop those dudes. Very engaged with how this story is going so far. The idea is just, yo, we're taking on the Emblem you see the entire game on loading screens. That's our the flag we fly under. I'm like, that's neat. I think that's really neat. We're gonna do supports, but not all of them. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do only pilots and then leave the rest on the back burner for a chapter or two from now. I think that's kind of gonna be what I do. So let's tackle all of the A's we have. Because that seems like a good idea. I like that it marks a few of these as S already. That's interesting. Pretty sure I did an S rank with them. That seems a little weird. Oh, I see. They just mark it in advance and then you like do the thing with it. For some reason I'm like, I did not fuck Flane, I can assure you. I can assure you, women, I didn't do nothing. Anyway, let's go.
Oh, hey there. What are you doing up at this hour?
I could ask you the same question.
My brain's just busy. Thoughts keep going around and around in there, and meanwhile my eyes are wide open. At times like this, I like to gaze up at the stars to clear my head. I've been that way since I was a kid. Looking up at the big starry sky makes my dreams feel small, which makes it feel like I can actually make them come true. I didn't believe in gods when I was a kid. Maybe that's because the night sky took their place for me. Hey, Teach, will you talk with me a while? I bet you figured this out, but I wasn't born in Fodlan. Where I come from, the people of Fodlan are looked down on as cowards. Technically, that cowardice runs in my veins. On my mother's side, anyway. That's why the people who were around me when I was growing up thought of me as an outsider. But I don't believe the people of Fodlan are cowards. That kind of perspective is just based on ignorance. The person from Fodlan who I know best is my mother. She fell in love with a man from the wrong side of the border and had the guts to leave home to pursue that love. I always threw that in the faces of anyone who tried to make a fool of me. My mother is proof the people of Fodlan aren't all cowards. Just saying that doesn't achieve anything, though. I need to destroy the prejudices that have taken root in my homeland. That's why I came here, to see Fodlan with my own eyes. I thought I might be able to find a new perspective that could help me change things. And what did I find? That the people here view anyone who's an outsider as a beast of sorts. I was shocked. Even though our cultures and beliefs are completely different, our two lands have that much in common. That's when I realized the only way to change things is to bring the whole world together and start anew. That's the dream I've been working toward since I first entered the Officers Academy 5 years ago. To unify the Alliance, and then all of Fodlan, and to bring a new set of values to this new land of mine. After that, I'd expand that vision to the rest of the world, break down the walls, and let a new perspective come rushing in. Start all over. Do you think that's just a crazy pipe dream, or a brilliant ambition?
Can you rise to the challenge of that ambition?
Not too long ago, I would have said it was too much for me to accomplish on my own. But that's not how I feel anymore. And that's because I have you on my side now. Lately, I've spent a lot of time thinking about how I wouldn't have made it this far without you. You and me, Teach. We can go anywhere. Do anything. I hope that you always walk in step with me. At least, until the day comes when we can look out at the peaceful world we've built. Together.
I respect his choice to hatch a grand plan to end all racism. That's our Claude.
Well met, Professor. I trust that you have not had any complaints about me lately.
It's been 5 years. Should I be worried? Are you silencing them?
Do you find it concerning that I've ceased making advances toward the ladies? I've decided that it would be inappropriate for me to continue my search for a spouse while we are at war. I expect that means you will not be receiving any more complaints. I hope that puts you more at ease. Actually, the introspection I've gained setting aside my search has motivated me to amend my conduct.
Embarrassed about your past behavior?
Not the phrasing I'd choose, but you're not wrong. Selfishly pursuing my own desires caused me to behave inconsiderately. For instance, it was arrogant and rude to invite ladies to dine with me purely to evaluate them. Our experiences in battle have also given me cause to doubt certain preconceptions I once held. Previously, I had considered it a requirement for my future spouse to come from a noble line. I once thought that commoners lacked the power to influence the wider world, as history might suggest. To find a commoner who made a real impact, one has to look all the way back to Nemesis. That was my belief, at any rate. But I realized that I've actually had an influential commoner right in front of me all along.
Who?
Don't you see? I'm referring to you.
Bah! It's me!
You wield the power of a crest, but you are so much more than just that. You have managed to charm everyone around you, to compel them to trust and follow you. Though you may not realize it, that is no mean feat. It is altering the course of history in Fodlan. Your example puts my prior beliefs to shame.
Your beliefs weren't completely wrong.
I appreciate the kind words. I have always sought to embody the ideal of nobility. That, at least, is a goal I continue to stand by. But now I know that bloodline alone is not sufficient to gauge a person's worth. I've learned much of this from you. You are humble and open-minded, despite your power and skill. That is why I, at least, find you so charismatic. Perhaps that is the wrong way to say it. What I mean is that you set an admirable example. I can only hope someday to be your equal. Of course, you had better keep an eye on me, because I can achieve anything I set out to do. For I am none other than the handsome and talented Lawrence Hellman Gloucester.
I'm gonna knock your teeth out.
Hey, Professor. I think you've been working too much lately. The battle's gonna keep going with or without you, but you're the one doing the most out there. It's real impressive how you can focus on giving orders and fighting. I don't think I could do both in the same battle. I see you running all over the place, even after the battle's over. I just don't want you to wear yourself out.
Maybe I am tired.
You gotta take a break when you can. Even when you're feeling fine, it could suddenly hit you. No offense, Professor, but don't you think some folks might be taking advantage of you? Claude keeps asking you to do things, but you never say no. Like when you gave that speech to the troops. That didn't seem like something you wanted to do. I know you gotta follow orders on the battlefield, but you shouldn't have to do things off the battlefield if you don't wanna.
You've done things you didn't want to do.
What do you mean? Like studying? Sure, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but that was to keep my little sis fed. I had good reason for it.
It's the same for me.
The same, huh? I think I get what you mean. You do things you don't want to do for the sake of everyone else. That's real noble of you, Professor. I guess I can't get in your way if you're doing it for the right reasons. Okay then. I'm gonna keep trying to do my best. But now, I'm gonna do it for you. My little sis is important to me. But you're real important too. I always work hard for the people who matter to me. And having more of them in my life just means I gotta work even harder. What do you think?
I think you're important to me too, Raphael.
Really? I wasn't expecting you to say that. You're gonna make me blush. We gotta keep working hard together then. At least until this war's over. I'll work to make sure you don't collapse from exhaustion. You got nothing to worry about, Professor. I've been training non-stop. I got your back, no matter what.
How incredible. What a striking color. Ah, Professor, look at this stone. Such a brilliant blue. You don't normally find stones like this around here. I ought to grind it down. I wonder if it would still be the same color.
Why would you grind it down?
To make pigment for my art. Good supplies don't come cheap. I prefer to make my own. Blue is especially expensive. How fortunate that I chanced upon this remarkable blueness. Oh, I'm sorry. There I go again, blathering on and on about painting.
Well, it's just a hobby, right?
Oh, yes. But I know that I can get rather caught up in it and, enthusiastic. You know, Professor, no matter how impassioned I become about my art, you never hold it against me. One could argue that I'm better off preparing for our next battle. I am becoming a knight.
Wouldn't you rather become an artist?
Oh, Professor, please don't say things like that. I gave up on my artistic dreams long ago. To support my family, I will be a knight. That's that.
You'll regret that choice.
No, I won't. I'm doing the right thing. I'll continue with my art as a hobby. I don't think I could ever give it up. When I see something beautiful, I can't suppress the urge to paint it. I don't have a choice. And if my art can bring happiness to even one person, that's good enough for me.
As long as you're sure.
Professor, I have a favor to ask. I'm painting a portrait right now. When it's finished, I'd like to give the piece to you. Would you take it? Perhaps it can bring you a little happiness. That will have made the effort well worth it. Oh, excellent! Is that a promise? Because I'm really going to put my heart in it. That is, I'm going to enjoy partaking in this casual hobby of mine.
Harry Potter as do one is paint. I respect it. How you doing, miss? I took 2 naps.
I ask for guidance. Professor, you're always watching over me, aren't you?
Of course.
I've spent my entire life avoiding people. Speaking to others was so difficult for me, so I made a point to always be alone. Animals and the goddess were the only ones I could really open up to. Do you remember the time you asked what it was I prayed for?
Thanks and protection?
Yes, but that wasn't the case. Back then, I felt that my life served no purpose and that I was nothing more than a burden. In truth, I was begging the goddess to take me to her. That was my daily prayer. But now I fear the idea of dying and being left alone. I have friends who accept me for who I am now, in spite of my crest. And I have you watching over me. I finally learned to accept the kindness and warmth of others. It's because of you, Professor. Because of you, I've decided to live. I'm sorry to have worried you, but I'm all right now. Even if I'm separated from you or any of my friends, the memories I've made here will give me the strength to continue on.
You should look to the future instead of the past. From now on, we'll look to the future together.
Oh, I'm sure I'll have the strength to move forward if we're together.
You know, it's kind of heavy that she's like, 5 years ago, every single time I prayed that I'd have the strength to kill myself. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that's what happens to her, because I'm pretty sure I never encountered him in post-time skips in the previous 2 routes, so it just feels like she just offs herself in between those, because she has no real support system, potentially. That's rough.
Hey, Professor, can we talk? I feel terrible about the last time we spoke. I was trying to apologize and just ended up losing my temper again. I'm really sorry.
That's alright.
I figured you'd say that, but I still feel like an idiot. Somehow, I just have a hard time keeping my feelings in check around you. And I think if I don't just tell you what I'm thinking, we'll never be able to have a normal conversation. So, let me clear the air. I want us to, engage.
You want to get engaged?
Yeah, wait, what? No, I mean in a duel.
Oh.
I know it's a sudden thing to ask, but I'm not going to feel settled until I know where I stand. Would you do that for me?
Sure.
Good. Don't hold back, okay? I want to see you at your absolute best.
Bringing out Sword of the Creator.
Phew. You got me. I'm completely outmatched.
You held your own.
Maybe, but you were definitely stronger. Honestly, that's what I needed to see. You're a true successor to Captain Gerald's style of swordplay. I almost felt like you were him. I thought I was competing with you, but that's as pointless as competing against him would have been. So instead of that, I'm going to focus on keeping the promise I made to him.
What promise?
Captain Gerald said that if anything should happen to him, I'd have to support you in his place. He didn't sound serious at the time, but it was right before before we lost him. So I've decided. I'd like to do just what he said. I know I'm not as strong as I need to be, but I swear to you, I'll train until I am. What do you say? Can I call you my employer?
I know I can count on you.
Yes, it's official. I'll protect you no matter what.
Well, I'm glad I was able to sit with the kids and hash out some things with them. Of course, they still have plenty of things to do. We will put them off, though, to another episode because I don't feel like drowning myself in them because eventually I'll stop paying attention to them and I'll start doing ones I've done before. I almost thought I did that Leone one before, but then I went, no, I totally didn't do that. Anyway, that's going to do it. Next time on Fire Emblem 3 Houses, we'll do the next mission and we'll probably do some supports sooner rather than later. We'll have to see. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.